we're not going to do like a specific guard pass. The question is on the back end of this is like I start getting past the legs, but they're putting like good shield walls up. So what I mean by that is like, think like the Vikings, right? He's blocking here and here, right? So this becomes difficult. Even if I get past the legs, it's difficult for me to close that space, right? This is an important like framing piece to understand for the newer people as well. If you can like connect your elbow and your knee, you prevent them from taking the space to connect to your torso, right? So my like general way that I like to address this is I go hand inside, so we're gonna be ending up in like 100 kilos or what I call bulldozer side control. So I like to worry about the knee more than anything. So leg frames are always going to be arm frames. They're always much stronger. That's why almost all of our escaping motions use arm frames temporarily to build the space for the leg frame, specifically knees and then feet on hips or shoulders or whatever. So big important pieces to all of this is I'm trying to clear the leg more so than the arm. The arm, if you're rolling against somebody that's like good, the arm is going to be in place. Like it's going to happen. So the leg is really what I'm concerned about. So as I start to pass, guard passing happens in 3 steps. Control the legs, get past the legs, control the upper body. So my goal now is I'm past the legs, I need to control the upper body. So that's what he's preventing. So that's the piece, it's important to understand that's the piece that we're attacking at this point. So when he makes this shield wall here, as I'm trying to come in, I'll find it very difficult. If I try to keep this arm over here as well, he might even step over my head. Perfect, and then arm bar me for my trouble, so I don't want any of that to happen. So I'm gonna take this arm immediately, and I'm gonna block on the inside of his hip. So I'm just laying my hand down between my legs like this. Now I'm gonna walk this tight, and then I'm just gonna start to circle. So as I circle, my arm has cleared the leg. I can drop my hip into that space to make it difficult for him to get that leg back. Now I'm still on my toes because he's gonna be shrimping here, and if I'm just lazy and he shrimps, pull my head to the ground, and then he's coming right up, right? So once I clear these legs, and I'm here, and here I'm active on the toes. If he starts trying to shrimp, I can follow him and stay heavy the whole time, right? So now I've gotten clear of the leg, which is really my problem. That arm is going to collapse, usually of its own volition. If it doesn't, and he's still, so just for the sake of example, I'm gonna be up to where you can see. So if he's right here and this elbow is pointed directly at me, here even, he can carry all my weight, right? If I start to rotate, now that arm frame breaks out of structure. So framing is a form of extension. So think push or just walking out, right? That's still extension, even though it's not actively like ing progressive, present progressive tense, right? It's still extending. So the idea here is we beat extension with rotation. So I'm changing what he's trying to hold up from here to turning it out of the way. So I'm just moving into space. So all of that together, as I've gotten relatively past the guard and I'm trying to control, if you just try to dive in here and like flatten him out and put pressure on, like I'm gonna go 100%, you do as little as you can to keep me from doing that, right? I can't even get the traction to collapse him anymore, right? I'm much bigger than Gus is, and he's still able to hold me off. He's not breathing hard, he's not struggling. He is decent, but you know, it doesn't work. So this is the problem, so I address this. So instead of just mindlessly going here trying to flatten him, I don't really care if he's flat. I care about this knee. So I put my hand between the legs, I'm dropping my shoulder right on his diaphragm, and then I start circling past it. As soon as I get past the leg, you'll also notice that arm frame is collapsed because I moved from here to here. So I moved out farther on the lever arm. So that arm collapses, and then I can stabilize my position if I really want to. Now if the hip is low enough, I can bring this back into an underhook and then start getting into my more standard forms of side control. Or stepping over into mount, belly right cases. Does that make sense? Sweet. Well, let's play with that one a little bit.
Same principle if he's doing the ghost escape, I guess what it's called.
Yeah, if he's trying to bring his arm underneath it, that's going to be different. So pause there, and then let's do